time, oh, this guy's one of the hardest workers in esports. But I mean, TLO is one of the guys that truly deserves that kind of a title. And his gameplay has been improving by leaps and bounds every single time I sit down and watch him.
Couldn't agree more, Ben. I think the defeat against Select in week 2 of the NASL was really a disappointing one for TLO, and we all kind of thought that TLO was going to take that, but Select played fantastic that series. Nevertheless, this is a series that TLO really should win, otherwise he starts off the season 0-3. Galaxy currently holds a 1-2 record, but Galaxy lost against very strong opponents, as he lost against Zenio and Oz, so there's no shame in that. But still, if TLO manages to win today, Ben, and it would be awesome, and if he continues like he did in game 1, I can definitely see it happen.
Yeah, TLO he's really been a bit of a mainstay here at the North American Star League. He's been with us through all of our seasons, but
never made it to the offline finals.
Never made it to the offline finals. He's always kind of been running in the middle of the pack, so he's going to have to start picking up a couple of wins if he's going to keep A, his playoff hopes alive, but B, his season 5 hopes alive, because he is not a player that we want to say goodbye to. Of course, we can say the same for Galaxy, who's only 1-2 in the division right now, and that's not exactly a strong position to be in.
But he lost against such strong opponents, as I said before. That's really like sometimes the rankings can be very deceiving, man. I don't think we should put too much thought into it. As once more we see TLO opening up with the 15 pool, hedge first over here for Galaxy. So they open up a little bit differently, but it turned out great for Dario in the last game. Now Cloud Kingdom is of course, Ben, a map that plays out so different than Daybreak. Why don't you tell the people at home why?
Well, Kevin, it's really because of how incredibly narrow the map is and how really tough it is just to attack in general on Cloud Kingdom.
Sounds like Daybreak.
That having been said, it does sound a hell of a lot like Daybreak. So why would they be that different, I guess? What is the answer you're looking for, Kevin? I'm not sure what you're fishing for. I think
from what I've seen, I think that the map plays out quite a bit different than Daybreak. It's much less camping involved in general. It's also a map where we more often see Mutalisk play, or just those big Zergling bailing attacks for so many reasons.
Well, one thing that we do have on Cloud Kingdom that we don't have on Daybreak is a lot more in the way of attack paths. Daybreak pretty much...
If you have the zone like Watchtower, you pretty much see...
At the end of the day, if you're going to do anything on Daybreak, you have to pass through that central 4th expansion. And if a player can reach the point in the game where he's just going to camp right there, attacking is not really possible. Cloud Kingdom differs in that your 4th base is never going to be in a really central location. You're either going to be expanding to a left wing or to a right wing. And those are always very, very susceptible to Zergling counters, straight up roach attacks, burrowed infestor play, and yes, even those mutas that you talked about. So once you get past the 2-base phase of the game, Cloud Kingdom does open up a lot.
Galaxy does keep his drone alive over here, Ben. As TLO, of course, with the quickest spawning pool, was able to get a couple of links out before Galaxy was, and he even picked off a drone. So those 2 links definitely paid for themselves. What I try to say overall is that Cloud Kingdom, in my opinion, is in general a much more action-packed map than Daybreak in this matchup, with more variety as well.
Yeah. A couple of people in chat are discussing what was just announced, Kevin, our NASL TV in partnership with Take TV show matches that we have coming up across the next 3 days. I guess if people aren't completely aware of it right now, we can talk a little bit about it. We've got 3 great show matches, best of 11, coming throughout the course of the following 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be Titan, the Russian Protoss powerhouse, against Scarlet, the Canadian and North American Zerg champion. On Saturday, Stefano, the NASL Season 3 champion, against Lucifron, perhaps the strongest Terran player in all of Europe. And then on Sunday, the match I'm most excited for, Nerchio, one of my favorite players in the damn strong Polish Zerg, against Naniwa, the King of the North.
That is going to be awesome. Ben, speed is going to be much quicker for Galaxy than it is for TLO. And I'm actually not sure if that was on purpose or not. I kind of feel that TLO perhaps forgot to mine gas, but we were chit-chatting too much that I kind of missed it. A lot of Zerglings were just in production though for Galaxy this Ben. That means that he's going to have a lot of links. He has speed links and he already has the bailing nest on the field. He is still mining gas as well. TLO is going to need one of those superb walls again. But TLO is already upgrading to high layer.
Yeah, it's something that he has to be a little bit mindful of. This is the same Zergling attack,
more links.
Oh, I guess with this next round of lings, it's no longer the same
No.
Zergling attack. This is a much larger one. Last time he made 22 lings and then went for it. This time it's going to be about
Over 30.
About 40, yeah. As wow, 18 more lings going into production. So actually, Galaxy, it's maybe not fair to call this an all-in because there's always the chance that he does enough damage for the game to go on to later phases, but he is super, super committed to this, working off of just 27 drones.
And look what we see over here, man. Galaxy using his queen to scare away that Overlord, but TLO, of course, aware of what's going on. He wants to double check. Not sure if he caught a glimpse of all these links. This is so many links for Galaxy, and TLO has absolutely nothing. He has 2 links on the map right now.
He's producing no units right now. Of course, at this point, he's got to be aware of it. Lings are streaming across. There is nothing there for TLO, who's going to try to wall off. Doesn't even have a spine crawler in Galaxy. Just going after it with the speedlings. There is literally 0 chance of a defense here. Queen's going to try and hold the ramp, but it is an impossible defense to make, Kevin.
Even with 8
roaches are going to try to pop out, and actually more drones going to come off and clog it up. Boy, I would love to eat my words here as TLO's going to try and make a miraculous defense as more lings do stream in, and I just, as amazing as it would be, I don't think it's going to be possible as everything gets surrounded and TLO is forced to tap out. GG Galaxy. With a little bit of the Ukraine star build there, Kev.
Yeah. Galaxy just going for an all-in build on Cloud Kingdom, hiding the links pretty well for a certain amount of time, but I think he also got quite fortunate. TLO tried to cut a few corners in between, never made speed links, never made a bailing nest. He just wanted to go up to Mudalisk as he dropped his spire as well as quick as possible, and yeah. Well, that worked out great for Galaxy as TLO had 2 Zerglings on the map while Galaxy had 50.
Really, we can point to the things as you said, Kevin, going straight to Mutas, only making 2 lings, and say, oh, TLO, you shouldn't do this. You can't cut this corner. But the real killer was that he just didn't sacrifice something to go check. Galaxy hiding all those units.
It's so hard with slow links, no?
Sure, it's hard. But those units, those lings are all being hit on the ramp in the natural. Which is not a very conspicuous spot. A slowling will manage to run past the queen and at least see that much.
Do you think it would have been worth perhaps the queen that was attacking the Overlord? The Overlord was floating north towards the Zonaga Watchtower. Do you think on a situation like that, send it just right into the natural and try to see if you can see something? Or
yeah,
are you 9 out of 10 times not going to see anything?
Hindsight is 20/20, so having the chance to see something is better than being guaranteed to see nothing. There's always that thought, okay, well, maybe if I can get to the high ground, I can keep my Overlord alive. But you raise a really good point. Anytime that you're certain that your Overlord's going to die, send it in the direction of the other guy in hopes that you spot something.
Well, didn't work out great for TLO, but of course there's still game number 3, Ben, and it's going to be played on Ohana_Bitter. So we'll see what that happens, but not before, guys. We're going to take a final short commercial break. That last game was brought to you by
Squarespace. Everything you need to create an exceptional website is available to you at a special promotional discount. You can find all the information at nasl.tv/p/Squarespace. Please go check them out today. We're going to take a short break, guys. Don't go anywhere. Game 3, TLO versus Galaxy, when we get back.